Hey there, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to dress in the outdoors. So if you're going camping or hiking and you want to know how to prepare for what you're going to be doing outside, then in this video I'm going to be talking you through the layer system, which is really just a breakdown of how you can dress outside to be prepared for the elements. And so basically that breaks it down into three main layers, and that's what we're going to be getting into. But first, let me just tell you that on this channel we post new videos about outdoors, camping, hiking, and those sorts of things. And so if you're into that, then subscribe to this channel so that you can join us for the next one. Now with that, let's jump into the rest of the video. Okay, I mentioned the layering system, and there are three parts to the layering system. There's your base layer, which is basically this Under Armour type shirt that I'm wearing. You have a mid layer, which would be something like this sweater, this fleece sweater that I'm wearing, and then you have your shell or your outer layer, which is like this raincoat that I'm wearing, okay? And each of these three layers has a different purpose. And so I'll walk you through those purposes, and there's also some changes that you can make to these layers so that you can adjust depending on the season you're in. So I'll start by showing you what I'm gonna wear for like a colder fall or spring season, and then later in this video I'm gonna go and change in the tent behind me real quick so that I can show you how I would approach this for like a summer outfit, summer layers. And so first of all, the three different layers. The base layer, the purpose of that is really just to wick sweat or moisture off of your body, taking moisture off of your skin. And this applies both to like the shirt that I'm wearing. This is like a long sleeve Under Armour shirt, and it also would apply to like the underwear or long johns perhaps that you're wearing. And then the mid layer, that's the layer, like this fleece sweater that I'm wearing, that layer is the one that's responsible for insulating. So that's the layer that you really are modifying to make you warmer or cooler depending on the temperature and maybe like how much you're exercising or how much you're exerting yourself, which of course can warm up your body. And so let me just give you, while we're talking about the mid layer, let me give you an example of how you can modify this, because if you want to warm up or cool down, that's the primary layer that you're going to be messing around with. And so for my mid layer, I also have a fleece vest that I can also add to this mid layer to further warm up my core. So this is something that I could do just to get a little bit warmer, and then I could put my shell layer back on over that if I wanted to. Or if I want to be really warm, if it's really cold out, I could add something like this down puffy jacket that I have here, this down winter coat, and even add that up over the rest of my clothes. And so looking at the mid layer is really where you see a lot of the benefit of using layering for dressing in the outdoors, and that's because it makes it makes the way that you dress a lot more versatile and a lot more flexible. So you could do just the puffy jacket, or you could do just your Under Armour style shirt, or your like base layer and a vest. You can kind of move things around to modify your temperature, and you wouldn't really have that ability if you did something that was more extreme, like just taking a t-shirt and a winter coat, right? Because then you can either be like really cool, or you could be like really hot, and then there's no in between. So it kind of traps you in two extremes, whereas layering gives you a lot of flexibility, okay? And so that's kind of the premise of the mid layer. And then the outer shell layer that you can add up over that, it has a different purpose. And so the main purpose of the shell layer is to basically protect all of the inside layers from the elements. So it's great as a windbreaker, so it can keep the wind off you. A lot of times with mid layers, the stuff you're gonna wear doesn't really keep the wind away very well. So for example, this first one that I had on, this fleece, it's really warm, but it doesn't really keep the wind away, and so it kind of goes right through this. And so if you add that outer shell layer, that's gonna block the wind, and of course it's a rain jacket, so it's also gonna keep off like rain and snow and that sort of thing. Okay, so those are the three basic layers and how it breaks down. I also wanna make a note about materials and how that comes into play when you're figuring out what you wanna wear for your camping trip or hiking trip. And so you really don't wanna wear cotton, like jeans or cotton socks, that sort of thing. It's a lot better to use things that are synthetics like nylon and polyester. For example, most of what I'm wearing is nylon or polyester, and then of course this one here I mentioned is down. That's a lot better than using something like cotton. Cotton tends to absorb water, and it can make you really cold and can make your clothes really heavy, whereas other materials like the synthetics and like wool, especially merino wool, will stay warmer when it's wet and will also tend to dry faster. For synthetics specifically, wool doesn't always dry faster, but synthetics usually do, like polyester, nylon, that sort of thing. And let me also mention, I've mostly talked about my core here, but let me quickly mention like what you're gonna do for your pants and even your socks. And so you can use a similar system for your bottoms. And so I'm wearing right now some, like, I think it's nylon underwear. So you don't want to like go through all of this effort for your core and then have cotton underwear on, because then you're still going to get cold. And then for your pants, I'm just wearing some nylon like zip-off pants. And I use these really in all seasons because they're lightweight and can be useful for a lot of different times of year. But then I also have another layer that I'm not showing here, which is an external rain pants. So if I know I'm going to be hiking someplace that's really windy, or if I'm expecting like rain or snow, I'll pull on those rain pants. And if I want to make my legs warmer, I can wear, I have some, I think, polyester or nylon long underwear that I would wear underneath that. And then one other thing, like if it was really cold, I also have a pair of a polyester like sweatpants that I could wear under my rain pants if I wanted to. So basically the same idea applies to the legs. I've just kind of focused on my core, and it kind of shows you the basic premise in that way. Also, I'll quickly mention the socks. So this is something that a lot of people don't know, but you can actually layer your socks as well. And this is particularly useful if you're hiking, because wearing multiple layers of socks can help like reduce the friction by wearing like a wool sock or a smart wool sock with a liner. So I'll quickly see if you can see this, but I'll show you. I've got like smart wool socks on, and then underneath you see this white sock, and that's a liner sock. So that's another thing that you can do. So that's the basic premise. I'm gonna quickly run into this tent behind me, change into summer's clothes real quick, and it's fairly cold out here right now where I am, so I'm gonna do this kind of fast. But I want to show you how this works if you were doing like warm weather clothes instead. So let's do that now. All right, I'll make this quick because it's cold out here. So I changed my clothes here, and you can see I'm wearing now a t-shirt. This is a polyester t-shirt, so the materials things still apply in a similar way. And I'm now wearing shorts instead of the pants I had on earlier. And so the layering system is pretty similar. You're just gonna use kind of lighter clothes and things that are gonna be like more for warmer weather, but then you still have the layers. So for example, I'm still gonna have like a light jacket or a light sweater of some kind. And even if I'm going like in the summer and it's quite warm, I'm gonna take something like this, because even if it's warm during the day, it probably is gonna get a bit cooler at night, and I wanna be well prepared. So I'd have my base layer for taking the sweat off my body. I'd have something to warm me up, and then I'm just gonna have like a similar or even the exact same outer shell layer to help keep that wind off me and to keep the rain away if it's gonna rain or something like that. So that's the basic premise of how this all works. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, I'd encourage you to hit that like button for us. And also, if you have any questions about layering, or if you have any thoughts or suggestions that you want to throw in that maybe I missed, I'd encourage you to leave that down in the comments, and I'd be happy to talk about this more. And with that, we hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.